Good afternoon, everybody. Hi there, Silk. Hi there, Lavender. And hi, Silent Adel. Oh shit, my favourite Merle. Oh. Well, even if I am the only one. I'm setting a good precedent, I hope. It's time to play some more Toxic Yaoi. Toxic Yaoi Situationship Simulator. Soul Reaver 2. I'm going to give it a couple minutes because this one starts with a cutscene that revisits some of the stuff from the previous game. And I think it's worth seeing because they sort of reimagined how the last game ends. Maybe it's more of a Highlander thing. There can be only one. Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, granted, I don't know any Merles either, so. Yeah. Oh goodness. Music did something weird for me for a second. I don't know whether that was just me. Hi there, Rye. We are going to start soul reaving. Yeah, let's jump in. Like I said, this game starts with a refresher on where the last game ended.
At last. I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers?
Did it trouble you when you ordered me into the abyss?
Eternity is relentless, Raziel.
I just love how bitchy they are with each
Stole into
other.
this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel. To see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never contain such forbidden truths. But
Such
Icarus is
forbidden
so much more
truths.
than we once were. Do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? As such, are we not indivisible? As long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. Our futures are predestined. Mobius foretold mine eons ago.
Yeah, we love a good brat tamer dynamic.
As written for us. Free will is an illusion.
I found the tomb of Sarafan Kain. How could you profane a priest by turning him into a vampire?
How could I not? One must keep his friends close, Raziel, and his enemies even closer.
How could I not?
Who better to serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil?
The Sarafan were saviors, defending Nosgoth from the corruption that we represent. My eyes are open, Kain. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
You may have uncovered
Cabedon.
but you know nothing of it. You think the Sarafan were noble, altruistic? Oh, don't be simple.
Don't be
Their
simple.
agenda was the same as ours. You nearly had me, Raziel.
Oh, they didn't include the line where Raziel says, "I will not applaud your clever blasphemy."
this drama unfolds completely.
Hi there, Dom. But yeah, the "how could I not" bit is actually a line from the game.
Raziel, Redeemer and Destroyer, Pawn and Messiah. Welcome, time-span soul. Welcome to your destiny.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how far apart these two games were, but it is good they start off with a refresher on where the first one ended.
In your case, when might be more apt.
Very well, you old snake.
You old snake.
Prefer I use my bare hands.
This is completely unexpected. This orb disables our vampire enemies, leaving them helpless and incapacitated. Strangely, it seems to have the same effect on that peculiar weapon of yours. But you must believe me. I mean you no harm.
You can drop the benevolent facade, Mobius. I know who and what you are. I should kill you where you stand.
Perhaps you should, my boy. But you don't.
Are you so certain of that, Mobius?
Are you so certain of that?
Guardian affords me a certain level of omniscience, Raziel. No, you don't kill me. That honor belongs to your maker, Kain, some 30 years from now.
You two are a pair. You're just as fatalistic as he is.
Death comes for us all, Raziel. It's just a matter of time.
The wizard here to ruin everything.
We have never met.
On the contrary, Raziel, I know you very well. And it grieves me to see how cruelly Kain has used you. I knew you when you were one of the Sarafan Brotherhood, Raziel. We were even close.
Oh, please.
Fortunately,
Oh, please.
you need not.
Yeah, same, right? I love the voice acting in this. It's so good.
Are we within the stronghold of the Sarafan priesthood?
Yes, but the glorious days of the Sarafan have long since passed, I'm afraid. This is a more cynical and indecorous age. My mercenary army now inhabits this stronghold. We strive to honor the memory of the Sarafan with our own humble crusade.
Is this the vampire Vorador?
Yes, the scourge of the Circle, the most depraved and decadent example of his whole degenerate race. He slaughtered 6 of my fellow Guardians as they cowered defenseless in this room.
And you somehow survived this massacre?
I and 2 others. The Circle
I
was
and 2 others.
Only we 3 were spared.
How convenient. You'll forgive me if I don't naively devour every scrap of information you toss me. You have a reputation.
The 4chan wizard speaks,
And
yeah.
who has slandered me, sir?
Calling people degenerates.
Your malefactor, Kain? The one who betrayed and destroyed you? Our common enemy? Consider the source before you judge me too harshly. We'll forget about rekindling our old friendship then. But consider an alliance based on our common ground. We both want Kain dead. I can help you do it.
You don't want to meddle in this, old man. I know all about your sordid little schemes, but you're simply out of your depth on this one.
You underestimate me, Raziel.
Raziel.
Let me show you. Even now, Kain...
Sordid little schemes.
Unaware that I've snatched you out of the time stream and brought you here to me. See how he lingers at the very pillars he is destined to destroy. foolishly confident that he has eluded your grasp.
Eluded.
Pillars are still standing in this time.
Yes, Raziel. They are the embodiment of the divine force which preserves the life of our world. We who serve the pillars maintain their delicate balance, and Kain is destined to be the fulcrum upon which that balance turns. I believe you have already endured the wasteland wrought by his terrible, selfish decision.
The wasteland.
Kain's very existence is a cancer upon this world. As long as he lives, all of Nosgoth is in peril. You may never again be human, Raziel.
I just love the way he says Raziel. Raziel.
Humanity and the nobility of your Sarafan heritage. Go to him, Raziel, and end this. But first, you will need to find your way out of the stronghold, and in this, I'm afraid I cannot help you. My soldiers will not understand your appearance here. They will try to kill you. You needn't fear them, of course. They're no match for you.
I'll say.
Try to keep the casualties to a minimum. But do what you have to do.
Do
All
what
great movements require a few martyrs.
Alone now, I surveyed my surroundings and noticed a second time-streaming chamber. Its entrance identical to the first, but with one distinction. That crystal was significant, but how? I had not yet discovered.
It's funny in this game how many times Raziel sort of comments to himself how there are elements of the environment that, you know, he ought to take heed of. And it's kind of pointing out to you what you don't have the abilities to use yet. But then there are some times where Raziel just is completely silent and it's extremely unclear about where to go. Thought I could look at some of these murals, but maybe not. That's where we came from. Bro loves to waffle. He sure does. He loves to yap. Now, the combat in this game is a little bit improved from the first one, but still not, like, all that entertaining, honestly. It's often just like a barricade to your progress. Like, you have a block button. Oh, I think if I go and grab this... I want to grab that other weapon. You can also, like, air juggle enemies like it's Devil May Cry. There's not really much point to doing it, though. Right. Look at the size of these doors. See you later.
Throughout the stronghold, I discovered evidence of my former nobility.
My former nobility.
My life as a Sarafan priest. This was the heritage so foully stolen from me when Kain raided my sacred crypt and defiled me.
He defiled you, exactly. I find that honestly the best way to do combat is to just run around doing light attacks like this. Because the enemy don't know how to block or evade this attack. And the only thing they can really do about it is try to intercept you. Like, you see what I mean?
Away from the influence of Mobius's cursed staff, I could feel the strength of the Soul Reaver slowly returning.
The Soul
That
Reaver.
orb was as debilitating to vampires as it was to the blade. It gave Mobius a powerful advantage over his enemies. I finally understood how Mobius's crusade could decimate the vampires so successfully. If he could immobilize his enemies, they were at his mercy. But why, I wondered, would the staff have any effect on the Reaver?
Well, you'll be wondering that for quite some time, Raziel.
As I neared the stronghold's inner sanctum, a strange sensation crept over me. An indescribable feeling of displacement, a sense of vertigo, as reality itself appeared to warp and bend around me. The disturbance seemed to emanate from the sanctuary's furthest chapel. As I cautiously approached, the sense of dislocation intensified with each step. So this was the tomb of the beloved King William the Just, beatified here as the martyr.
I love that they make these anime-esque murals and like stained glass windows.
Journey as a fledgling vampire, how Mobius coerced him to travel back in history and assassinate William, thus igniting a genocidal hatred of vampires among the citizens of Nosgoth. And here I discovered the source of the displacement. The Soul Reaver itself, laid out like a holy relic, and broken, apparently in the battle between William and Kain. I had not thought such a thing was possible.
Legacy of Kain would make a really cool anime, except
when he tried to strike me down.
the most recent, like,
Thus,
additions to the story have not been that good.
Was released, and binding itself to me became my symbiotic weapon. And so the Reaver met its former self, still imprisoned in this corporeal shell. I watched, mesmerized, as the Wraith blade uncoiled itself and snaked down the length of the physical blade. Embracing its twin, its mirror self, the Reaver's long dormant spirit was now fully aroused. And
Fully
for the first
aroused,
time,
you say?
I felt the true presence of this other entity, willful, ravenous, and deranged from thousands of years of imprisonment. The Reaver was now in command, and I, now merely its helpless host, felt my soul being leached to restore the blade.
Ravenous and aroused.
But the Reaver knew better than to destroy its host, and just as I neared the brink of oblivion, the blade released its hold on me. As I recovered, I realized we were now bound together in a fragile alliance. The Reaver no longer merely my symbiotic weapon, but a sentient parasite competing for control.
What have you done to me, Mobius? Is this your trap?
How mine? Don't forget it was Kain who led you here, not I. While you curse me, the only soul in Nosgoth ready to guard
Look at his
against
hands.
you. Kain
Those
loves
are in
thou
this is
and
true
relishes
yaoi.
your dismay.
I'm slightly in his way, but like, look at those yaoi hands.
Have inspired terror in the hearts of creatures far more durable than you, old man. Bound together as
Little
they
bonk
are,
on the head.
I can only imagine what they could do to your soul's fragile shell.
Raziel, I beg you to stay your hand. This was none of my doing. I have sought only to aid you in your righteous quest.
Why, you're trembling, Mobius. Has your confidence abandoned you? You seem to have made a fatal error by leaving your precious staff behind. Is that where all your courage comes from?
Listen to me, Raziel. You don't know what you're doing.
He could practically wrap his hand entirely around Raziel's head.
Yet eager to prove my good intentions. If there's anything left of the Seraphim in you, you won't do this. While you threaten me, your true enemy eludes you.
Don't concern yourself with Kain, old man. He'll join you in hell soon enough.
Soon enough.
Death comes for us all.
Yes, the wheel of fate demands it.
What did you say?
The wheel of fate. The inexorable cycle of death and rebirth to which all men are compelled. We serve the same God, Raziel. To strike me down would be striking God's own attendant. And I don't believe even you would take that risk.
He could easily wrap his hands around Raziel's waist as well. True.
Now that I know you fear me, I needn't concern myself with you. Kain is waiting for me.
Hi there, PDA Foot.
Seek Kain out and destroy him in the name of the one God we both serve. You, who were once a Seraphim priest, murdered, profaned, destroyed, and reborn again from his mercy. You are now most powerfully equipped to be his agent, his instrument of restoration and retribution.
My own vengeance is motivation enough.
Oh, Raziel's such a brat.
By my soul, you almost had me, my little blue assassin. But that'll be the one and only chance you get. I assure you of that.
My little
Now summon
blue
the blade
assassin.
at will, regardless of my strength. But once summoned, the blade's ravenous appetite could not be contained. It devoured the souls of its victims, and if I allowed it to become over-aroused, the Reaver would now turn its hunger on me.
This is kind of a fun mechanic they have introduced where you can summon the Reaver whenever you want. You no longer need to be at full health, but it's got like a fury meter, and as you fight more, it does more damage, but then eventually starts draining your health faster and faster. I think it's like a much more fun way for it to work. Sadly, the combat in this game isn't really deep enough to ever make it worthwhile. Like, it's always good to just get the Reaver to be as hungry as it possibly can be and send it into fury mode.
So this was the legendary Janos Ordrin, reputed to have been the most ancient and diabolical vampire to have ever existed. According to folklore, he lived high in the cliffs of Nosgoth's northern mountains and preyed mercilessly on the defenseless villagers below. His reign of terror ended when the Seraphim finally hunted him down and tore his throbbing heart from his still-living body. This relic came to be known as the Heart of Darkness, and was supposedly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife. The Seraphim therefore guarded it carefully, lest the heart fall into the hands of their enemies. But I wondered, could Janos Ordrin truly have been as monstrous as depicted here? Or was this merely artistic license by the Seraphim, who sought to lionize themselves by demonizing their darkest enemy?
This begins Raziel's arc of, like, this guy was portrayed to be really evil, but maybe he wasn't so bad. And maybe Kain's not so bad either. Yeah, Janos Ordrin, the most diabolical vampire to have ever lived. Yeah, combat becomes even easier with the Reaver now. Silk, I can fix him, Raziel, when he meets an evil top. I wonder what Janos would be. We'll discuss when we meet him.
Strange how my history came full circle. This chapel, I realized, was a memorial to my former Sarafan brethren and myself. All of us martyred here. And then so cruelly profaned by Kain when he imposed his gift on our noble corpses.
Hi there, Jay Chancellor. Good to have you.
Time,
Welcome to the stream.
I beheld the image of my Sarafan self, memorialized here among my fallen comrades. It tortured me to see how noble and pure I had been, and what a vile phantasm I had become. And a profound sense of injury, of loss and betrayal welled up in me, so overwhelming I could barely contain it. All I wanted at this moment was to find Kain and destroy him.
Raziel's got dysphoria. Right, we'll have a look at the murals in a second. Yeah, no, there's Rahab. Tyrell was the one we didn't meet in the last game. Yeah, Zephon looks really cool. Oh, I think I'm a big fan of Dumas' art though. Look at that. Yeah, so this is a splendid game to have caught on while we're playing. Melchiah. He looks a bit boring. And Raziel, the man himself. Doesn't change in the HD version. Right, now where was I supposed to go? Wait, is this the correct way? Oh, if there's a dead body there, then probably not. Wonderful mods and chat as usual. Oh, thank you. I've deputized the correct people to be my mod team. Yes, well, welcome. Glad to have you. This game gets very dark at times. Not in terms of themes, but in terms of literally, like, the game is really dark, so I might need to change the brightness on my game capture, but I'm not really sure how to do that. Let me have a look. Can I... Oh, I can turn the brightness up. I think I will turn it up. About that much. Now, that might look washed out, but trust me, there are some areas in this game where it just looks pitch black, and you wouldn't be able to see a thing. I mean, I've had to turn the brightness up on my TV screen already. Yeah, I'll just turn it up a bit more, because I'm not kidding when I say this game gets so dark in places. Right. It's as bright on my screen as it is on yours now. Look how flat his ass is.
And for the first time beheld Nosgoth in its former glory. The land overflowed with abundant life and vitality. And I knew with certainty then that the world I had left behind was nothing more than the corpse of Nosgoth, a lifeless husk bled dry by the corruption of Kain's parasitic empire. This was the fragile world Kain sacrificed to preserve his own petty life and ambition.
His own petty life.
Cost. The sight only deepened my resolve. I sensed that the pillars lay to the northwest. If Kain truly waited to confront me there, I would not disappoint him.
I would not disappoint him. Yeah, they actually, like, I think they gave Raziel a bit more of an ass in the remaster. Yeah, pixelated water. Like, I wonder if
As
we
I
can...
passed this arcane landmark, a wisp of the Reaver's energy was drawn into the ring, illuminating it. This created a beacon of sorts in the spirit world. If ever I found myself depleted in the spectral realm, and my soul tossed on the ethereal winds, these beacons would draw me back to safety and restore me.
Cute way of saying that's a checkpoint. Yeah, they gave Raziel a bit more of an ass in the remaster. Like, he's completely flat in the original. Anyway. Giving the people what they want. It's interesting, but the remastered graphics, I think some of the models look better, some of the models look worse. It's a real mixed bag, and I wish you could sort of pick and choose, because a lot of the environments don't look all that different in HD than they do, or the remastered versions than they do in the original. Some of them look very different, but yeah, it's sort of like, I wish you could pick and choose a bit more about which models you want to be HD and which ones you want to be their original ones. Like, I think the water obviously looks a little better in the more modern version. Oh, where I have to go now. Whoops.
These
I've come the wrong way again.
obelisks were mysteriously attuned to my spiritual essence. By simply touching the symbol, I could safely preserve an imprint of my soul, and thus create a milestone to which I could return when weary, and from which I could resume my journey.
This is one of the things I don't like about this game, is that it introduces save points rather than just being able to save on the fly and continue whenever you want, which I think was a cool thing about the first game, was that you could just sort of suspend play whenever you wanted, whereas now you have to, like, you have to plan out a little bit, you know, when you're going, how you're going to play.
The stronghold, I sensed that in time my journey would return me full circle to this place. Infiltrating the fortress, however, would be no small feat. The balcony that had provided my escape was now well beyond my reach, leaving this massive gateway as the only means of entry. The gates were sealed, but like the time-streaming chamber I had seen earlier, their operation was undoubtedly linked to that odd crystal mounted above the entrance.
Fourth... Ooh, hang on. Fourth Metal Gear, the boss characters and the female asses were nice. I mean, Snake's ass was even better, IMO. In fact, there's no point fighting these people. You just run past a lot of humans, honestly. They don't really they don't really pose much threat to you. I think there's a few areas later on where it's like, oh, you have to fight them because they'll interrupt you doing stuff. But it's interesting that they knew combat in this game needed to be a little bit better than it, than it was in the first one. But right, I don't actually remember what this is. I don't think it's anything. They knew combat had to be a little better, but they also still were very aware that you can just run past a lot of combat encounters. Oh shit. Come down here. Ah, well. There actually was something I wanted to do back here, which... I think there's a trophy for scaring all those birds. You may have seen some of them. There's one.
Seize him!
If I scare all of them away, I think there's a trophy. MGS2 is a really good game. I'm going to stream that again at some point. I want to stream the MGS games. Because I love them, and I can just honestly play them and yap endlessly. But I find that, you know, with MGS2, definitely I'm at a level now where I don't really need much instruction about where to go and what to do. Here's one. We're going to need to go into the spirit realm soon.
These vampires had nothing in common with the deranged jackals I left behind in Kain's derelict empire. They
Combat
seemed to
optional,
retain much of
indeed.
their former humanity. In this era, vampires were clearly not the uncontested predators we had been. These creatures were hunted mercilessly and oppressed. And while I still believed that vampirism was a plague and had to be wiped out, there was nothing noble or righteous in this crusade. This was simply ruthless persecution.
Hey, Raziel's slowly coming round on, you know, well, vampires are still bad and, you know, they still need to be wiped out, but, you know, is this really what ought to happen? I think this is as well the game where the sort of queer reading of vampirism really, you know, really kind of shines through. Especially with, like, the religious persecution of the vampires.
The pillars of Nosgoth, pristine, whole, and uncorrupted. I had never beheld them in this undefiled state. Yet something profound and indelible resonated within me at the sight. And there, waiting at the very heart of the pillars, was the canker that was destined to destroy them.
Oh, thank you for the compliment, Jay Chancellor. I don't think my voice is particularly nice, but
I know
very
you're there,
good to hear.
Raziel.
Mobius led me to you, Kain, though I might have guessed you'd meet me here.
And if Mobius told you I was hidden on the underside of hell, would you throw yourself into oblivion to pursue me? Mobius trawls for the ignorant and unwary, hauling his gasping prey from the streams of their destinies. Stay out of his net, Raziel.
Spare me your elaborate metaphors, Kain. I have pursued you here for one purpose. You will pay for your betrayal, and balance will thus be restored to Nosgoth.
And whose will is satisfied then? The will of Raziel or Mobius?
Would I be better manipulated by you, Kain?
Oh.
Turn and face me. The chase is over.
This isn't a chase, Raziel. We are merely passengers on the wheel of destiny, describing a perfect circle to this point. We've been brought here for a reason. I've seen the beginning and the end of our story, however, and the tale is crude and ill-conceived. We must rewrite the ending of it. You and I.
Face me, Kain. Even you shouldn't die a coward's death.
Isn't it customary to grant the condemned a final request?
I recall no such courtesy from you.
Indulge me, Raziel. All I ask is that you listen. This is the sublime moment of our undoing, Raziel. The ineffable fulcrum upon which swings the entirety of our history. This is where all of Nosgoth is betrayed. In this instant, Ariel, the Balance Guardian, is murdered by dark forces bent on overthrowing the Pillars. Her spirit is just now tearing free, lost in the ether, trying to find its way here.
The acting's really good, and the soundtrack as well. It's really unnerving.
Bound here by your refusal to die. You are the reason this land becomes diseased. As long as you remain alive, you condemn Nosgoth to an eternity of decay.
Be still, Raziel. See this. As Ariel dies, I am being born to take her place as Balance Guardian. Such is my destiny.
My God.
At the moment of my first cry, Ariel's beloved, the Guardian Nupraptor, finds her corpse. Racked with grief and tormented by suspicions of treachery, Nupraptor plunges into a madness which overflows and infects all of the Guardians who are symbiotically bound, including me. The repercussions of Ariel's assassination were expertly calculated. The entire circle descends into madness, and I am tainted at the moment of my birth, instantly rendered incapable of fulfilling the role destiny has prepared for me.
Shall I show you the same mercy you showed the rest of the circle then? You blithely murdered them to restore their pillars, yet your hand faltered when it came to the final sacrifice. What makes you exempt, Kain? You're merely the last man standing. Why condemn me for simply carrying out what you hadn't the courage to do yourself?
Let's drop the moral posturing, shall we? We both know there's no altruism in this pursuit. Your reckless indignation led you here. I counted on it. There's no shame in it, Raziel. Revenge is motivation enough. At least it's honest. Hate me, but do it honestly.
This is so good.
Years hence, I am presented with a dilemma. Let's call it a two-sided coin. If the coin falls one way, I sacrifice myself and thus restore the pillars. But as the last surviving vampire in Nosgoth, this would mean the annihilation of our species. Mobius made sure of that. If the coin lands on the reverse, I refuse the sacrifice and thus doom the pillars to an eternity of collapse. Either way, the game is rigged.
We agree then that the pillars are crucial and must be restored.
Yes, Raziel. And that's why we've come full circle to this place.
So after all this, you make my case for me. To end this stalemate, you must die so that new Guardians can be born.
Pillars don't belong to them, Raziel. They belong to us.
Your arrogance is boundless, Kain.
Your arrogance is boundless.
There's a third option. A monumental secret, hidden in your very presence here. But it's a secret you have to discover for yourself. Unearth your destiny, Raziel. It's all laid out for you here.
You said it yourself, Kain. There are only two sides to your coin.
Apparently so. But suppose you throw a coin enough times. Suppose one day it lands on its edge.
What a scene. What a scene. It's so interesting they made this whole series based on exploring the consequences of the evil ending of Blood Omen. Yeah, like this game and Defiance as well seem to be interested in exploring some of the more like interesting themes that from what I've seen, Ascendance, the newer game, is completely uninterested in. And yeah, right, maybe this whole thing is just an elaborate role play. I think it serves a dual purpose. Also, hi Ellie. You may now touch the straws if you so please. forgot where I'm supposed to go from here.
I didn't know what impulse stayed my hand, why I had so willingly allowed Kain to escape me when I had pursued him for so long. I had no reason to trust Kain after he had valued me so little, and yet I found myself intrigued by his words. I had been too cruelly used to so gullibly play his pawn, but if this world truly had secrets to divulge, I was determined to expose them.
Yeah, so once again, Raziel's like, maybe Kain had a point. This is also a very subtle hint about what to do next. You have to look out a lot for that symbol. It's your symbol to go spectral. I love that it turns this mountainside into a staircase. Also, Jay Chancellor, can anyone else just listen to you talk? I love the accent. Well, you're gonna make me blush, but I wish I sounded more like Raziel and Kain. I have thought about recording more video content in the future, but I'm not exactly sure. I want to make a commentated run through some of the shmups I've played.
From my arrival, I had the constant and palpable sensation of being watched. Someone, it seemed, was keenly interested in my presence here.
In my sick and twisted world, Merle has a normal accent. Yeah. I am often surprised that people sort of like my accent. I think it sounds quite sort of normal, but I mean, those darn birds, yeah, I'm scaring them all off. See if I can get the trophy for it. Also, thank you for turning me into a cat.
From the look of it, this door had been sealed for centuries. I began to realize it was no mere coincidence that I found myself standing here, beneath this winged figure with blue skin and cloven hands so like my own, and bearing this unique key. And so it was with a sense of gravity and trepidation that I unsealed that ancient door and crossed the threshold.
I think you do have a lovely voice, Merle. It's England that's sick and twisted. I think my voice is horrible, but I've learned to just accept it. Once again, more optional combat that I'm not going to bother my arse with. Oh, thanks, Kel. I mean, I prefer your accent, honestly. The combat is so bad. The combat is less bad in this than it was in Soul Reaver 1, but it's still pretty dire and mostly just worth avoiding when you don't have to do it. The combat in Defiance is really fun. Not quite as good as like Devil May Cry, but few things are.
As I entered the chamber, I sensed that it had been sealed for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. And while this room was clearly built when the pillars were erected, I knew that no human hand could have shaped this place, and that perhaps it had never been seen by human eyes. The surrounding murals depicted a winged race, their features so like my own, but beautiful, where mine were grotesque, and angelic, while mine were demonic.
Oh, don't compare yourself to other people, Raziel. You're beautiful.
A great war, but with combatants like none I had ever seen. The pillars, raised by this winged race, who thus defeated their adversaries. The winged beings again, writhing in agony, apparently afflicted with the same bloodthirst I had so recently suffered. And throughout the chamber, inscribed everywhere, images of the Reaver itself. Was this what Kain had urged me to discover? I wondered.
Lies, Raziel.
Lies, Raziel. Comparison is the thief of joy. Exactly.
Do not be deceived.
Ah, my ancient benefactor. And I dared to hope we had parted ways forever.
You catty bitch.
Refreshing when it lasted. No doubt you have a conveniently inexpressible reason for your presence here.
Do not be insolent, Raziel. I am eternally present here and everywhere, now and always. I am the still center of the turning wheel, the hub of this world's destiny.
But perhaps not so omnipotent as you'd have me believe. Your hold on me appears to be tenuous. I no longer seem to need you. Yet I'm guessing you still need me.
This impudence is unworthy of you, Raziel. Do not forget
This
that you have a task
impudence
to fulfill here.
is unworthy of you, Raziel.
You are indebted to me.
Indebted? You would have me show gratitude for a gift I didn't ask to be bestowed. Do you forget that you forced me to inhabit this vile carcass?
I restored you to yourself, Raziel. It was Kain who destroyed you. The very enemy you've just let slip through your grasp.
He's so
Do not
sassy,
fail me, my
so
son.
bratty.
I serve no one. Not you, not Kain, and not your lackey Mobius.
Mobius is my good servant. I have many.
And if I tell Mobius that he's worshipping a giant squid, do you think his faith will falter?
You have grown willful, Raziel. But beware. To embrace a serpent is to invite poison into your heart. Kain is a sinuous beast. He will seduce and deceive you. You
Seduce
pride
me?
yourself on your free will, yet you let that degenerate deter your resolve.
I harbor no illusions about his integrity, nor anyone else's. In fact, I am beset by manipulation on all sides. I merely seek the truth.
These are the fathomless truths, Raziel. The agony of birth and death and rebirth. This is the wheel of fate, the purifying cycle which sustains all life. Vampires are an abomination, a plague which leeches this land of its spiritual strength. They obstruct the flow of life and death. Their souls stagnate in their wretched...
Yeah, he's a homophobic god.
But the wheel must turn. Death is inexorable and cannot be denied. Your destiny is irresistible, Raziel. You are my soul reaver, the scourge of the vampires, reaper of their apostate souls. Remain steadfast, end the vampire's parasitic curse, and restore Nosgoth. Kain's blood belongs on your hands.
Kain indeed
And
deserves
his
to
cum
die
in my...
for
What?
condemning me to this repugnant form. But if and when I kill him, it will be for me alone to decide.
Kain destroyed you without a flicker of remorse. He tore the soul from your noble corpse, and after you had served him faithfully for 1,000 years, he discarded you in the abyss on a jealous whim. Remember your rage, Raziel. Let it guide your hand.
Ooh. What a scene. Yeah, I love the writing in this game. It is really good. But yeah, this is also like a big moment where, like, I think, yeah, the kind of queer reading on it comes in. You know, we're all like joking about how the Elder God seems like a homophobe, but you know, I think there's something to that. Like, you know, if vampires are this sort of unnatural, quote unquote, scourge because they resist the natural cycle of life and death, and they're sort of parasitic on the natural process and order of things. You know, I think that's what, you know, there's that more or less echoes exactly what a lot of, like, you know, conservative and religious types do think about homosexuality, that it's it's parasitic on the heterosexual order, that it's a perversion of the natural order. So yeah, I think there is like a deeply sort of queer reading of the vampires in this. Also, here's the Elder God.
Tread carefully, Raziel.
Yeah. Now, the first time I played this, I swam down here just because I was like, ooh, I wonder what's down here. This actually is the correct way to proceed forward. It's just the game doesn't really signpost that to you at all. Anyway, excuse me, lads. Places to be. Ow. Ah, yes. Here we go. The good thing about this game is that there's no secrets to find. There's no sort of like hidden areas or anything, so you don't need to worry about like fully exploring everywhere before you move on. Which, you know, on replays, I think is, you know, is kind of a good thing, because you can just like get straight to the good stuff, which is the characters chewing the scenery. I did feel a bit disappointed by on my first playthrough. I was like, there's nothing waiting for me, you know, in hidden corners anywhere. Yeah, and I say that and I'm still getting lost here. Oh no, this is the correct way. The side areas in Soul Reaver 1 are so neat.
Into a very different landscape. The daylight barely penetrated the dense canopy of this forest. Here I discovered an ancient ruin, unmistakably one of Mobius's time-streaming chambers, but long ago sealed and abandoned to the encroaching swamp. I didn't currently possess the means to break this seal, but I thought in time that I might.
Stay confident, man. You know, you have confidence in who you are, what you can do. I can't do this yet, but in time, I will be able to. He's got a growth mindset. We love to see it. Metroidvania voice. Yeah, no, it is funny how much of Raziel's dialogue is, I didn't have the means to solve this puzzle yet, but if I came back later with a new ability, maybe I would. Yeah, no, the side areas and the, like... Just kick that down, I guess.
So, my lurking observer was exposed. The creature vanished when he realized he was discovered, but I caught a glimpse of him. His features were distinctive enough. This was the vampire Vorador, the monstrous assassin depicted in the stronghold. Strange that a creature brazen enough to assault the circle single-handedly would avoid confronting me. Very well. If Vorador would not come to me, I would go to him. But first I needed to find some means of reaching that terrace.
Yeah, no, the side areas and stuff in Soul Reaver 1 are really cool. Like, I didn't do any of it on my playthrough, but there's like magic spells you can get and like upgrades to how much health and magic you have. But yeah, there's like whole areas of the game which are just, you know, side stuff, which feels really cool. Like, makes the game feel like, you know, worth replaying and worth like exploring. There's nothing like that in this one, which I think is a shame. But they've gone for a much more sort of focused like story and put a bit more effort into the sort of the main puzzle solving. Kain also comes to you, Raz. Is that what we're calling him? Raz? Razzie boy. Ow.
To arms!
To arms. I have to comment on another puzzle I can't solve. Gives Kain the old razzle-dazzle.
There appeared to be a passage here, leading northward into the mountains. The opening, however, was obstructed and too high for me to reach. Perhaps later I would find the means to bypass these obstacles.
Is that like the third puzzle we've walked past where Raziel just says like, I can't do this yet? Oh, thank you for the gifted subscriptions, Jay Chancellor. It's very kind of you.
This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
Oh, I've reached a sub goal of 10 subs. Thank you, everybody. And yeah, thank you, Jay Chancellor. You've pushed me over that threshold. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Can I gift my Prime sub? I don't know. I don't really know how any of it works, to be honest.
My friend was nowhere to be seen, but I found these ruins even more intriguing. I recognized these arcane symbols from the chamber beneath the pillars, and realized that this shrine too was sealed to all but the bearer of the Reaver.
Splendid. Right, I think that's all the birds I've scared off. Prime subs can only be used on yourself. That is a shame. I mean, yes, given that I'm losing my job, you know, Twitch subs are going to be a bigger part of my income going forward. So every little helps. I just wanted to help you out with your whole job thing. Well, that's extremely kind of you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm okay. Oh, thank you very much, Kel. Gifting another subscription. I don't know if you're getting to see George Lucas there. Started a hype train, apparently. This is a part of Twitch I don't really know much about. But yeah, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Yeah, you know, I want to make it clear. I'm okay for now. I've got a good support network and stuff, but yeah, it definitely is going to help me out over the next month or so. Being able to keep treating myself and not have to worry too much. So yeah, that's very kind, very much appreciated. Must be in Spectral. I was intending to drop the Prime one, so I'll gift one. Well, it's very much appreciated. I have to look at the revenue breakdown to see how much I get from different types of subscriptions. So I don't actually know much about it. I just know like my, you know, end of quarter earnings or what have you. Anything for you, Fujinami. You're my friend. Ah, thank you. That's very kind. Squeak Reaver. Yeah. I do kind of like the sound effects of the Reaver. Oh my god. Right, yeah, the puzzles in this dungeon are so badly telegraphed to you. Love Raziel just sort of staring. It is clever, though, that they lead you in here so they can show you what you're supposed to be going for. But a shame that they don't actually give you any indication of how you're supposed to get there. that yet. Yeah, and it's also really not clear that you're meant to come back in here to progress forward. I thought I needed the shield to get through that door. Yeah, that's
Throughout
actually the
this
end
ancient
goal of the shrine.
Murals depicted the winged race, the apocalyptic war against their mysterious and equally inhuman adversaries. These winged beings, it seemed, were
Winged.
not only the architects of the pillars, but of this enigmatic place as well. And just as in the pillar's chamber, this shrine was adorned throughout with imagery of the Reaver, depicted with the reverence of a holy icon.
There's a wonky ledge you can grab that pulls you right up to the shield. Oh, like a sequence break. That's interesting. I mean, I'll try and do it the intended way. Did it completely accidentally? Yeah, wonky is a good word. Right, I can't remember what's the correct order to do any of this in. I think this way first. Actually, what am I doing? I don't need to fight these guys. Don't mind me, mate. It dots enemies around as though it wants you to fight, but there's absolutely no reason to. Like, they're so avoidable. I've always thought this mechanic is really cool, of like shifting between the two worlds where things are all like twisted and warped. There we go. They want to make you do combat so much, but it's still so easy. Right. What do I have to do here again? Oh, right. Yeah, no, this puzzle is crazy. You have to notice that this pillar has this symbol on it, like the pillar obscuring the dark sun. And then noticing that, you move it here, turn this thing around, and then you also have to, I think, oh, you have to shoot with the Reaver. Be a slightly different angle, I think. Oh. Shoot projectiles at puzzle targets. I'm trying. There we go. You can imagine thinking that you'd got that one wrong because of how many times you have to shoot how many tries it took me to actually shoot it correctly.
Shoot puzzles at projectile targets.
Is that what I said? Did I say it wrong? Currently working through Blood Omen 2. I have not heard anything good about Blood Omen 2, and it's non-canon, so there we go. Plate acquired. What I need to do with this. Oh yeah, this opens the door for you. That's a bit jank, that you just have to know that that opens that door. We got a dinner plate we eat tonight. I do like the theme of this shrine being like light and dark. But it's this very like Zelda style, isn't it? I have to start coming to more streams of yours. Oh, is it that good? I mean, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Didn't know my streams were that entertaining. Ah, come on. Right, that's it. We're done here. The spray was super effective. Vorador shows up in the first... Yeah, like... I'm sort of just like... I'm not going to confuse myself with any... with Blood Omen 2. I might go back and play it after I finish Defiance, but... Oh, here's another, like, absolutely insane puzzle solving. Once again, you have to just sort of notice that symbol. There's no reason why this should happen, other than the fact that you just notice you can move this. And it creates like a shadow bridge. Sure. That's fine. Now, oh yeah. I'm glad it wasn't just me. Yeah, I think, like, I like the theme of this dungeon, but the puzzles are really badly, like, telegraphed. What do I do in here again? Oh, I think that's the wrong way. Maybe that was the right way. Good stuff. Hi there, the Legen 27. This is the kind of puzzle you've got to solve to get a 9 to 5 nowadays. Oh yeah, if you're making horny puns, you're a welcome part of the community, J Chancellor. I remember someone writing a little essay about Legacy of Kain series in 2006 that you advised you to never foolishly try to understand the whole timeline of the games. Yeah, I mean, it is quite complex, especially given that, like, this game and Defiance introduce a lot of, like, time traveling. I do want to sit down at some point and try and figure out what the whole sort of timeline is. But you know, I don't think I'm gonna leave that till after I finish Defiance before I trouble myself with it too much.
As I neared the altar, I suddenly felt the Reaver quickening of its own volition. Just as in William's chapel, the balance of power tangibly shifted. Voracious and willful, the Soul Reaver was now in control, and I, merely its helpless puppet. The Reaver plunged itself into that mysterious altar, and devouring the energy that emanated from within, drained this place of its power. Thus sated, the Reaver released me, and I realized as I recovered control that these ancient shrines were forges, each purpose-built to enhance the Reaver with elemental power.
Each designed to enhance the Reaver with elemental power. I've been resisting speculating about Raziel's gag reflex. I mean, he doesn't really have a throat anymore, so I don't know that he has one. He just has like a hole in his neck. Yes, purple Reaver obtained.
Now I understood the purpose of the mysterious basins I had seen throughout
Mysterious
my journey.
basins.
They were elemental fonts, each attuned to a fundamental essence. When I forged the blade, every font in Nosgoth with the same elemental attunement was simultaneously quickened. The Reaver's enhancements were never permanent, but these fonts enabled me to re-imbue the blade by bathing it in the elemental energy distilled therein.
I've never seen this game played. Oh well, I'm glad to be able to share it with you. I realised there was a whole series of color-coded upgrades I could use to access new locations. Yeah, basically.
One eclipsing the other. I recognized this symbol from the door sealing that other ancient shrine, the one I had seen in the lake outside the Sarafan stronghold. Perhaps now, armed as I was with the elemental power of darkness, I could return and gain entry.
I've been saying this a lot while I play this game and Defiance. I sort of love the way Raziel and Kain talk about like game mechanics as though it's like the most natural thing. They will walk into an area and be like, I noticed a lock bearing the crest of Vorador. Was this another one of Mobius's games, or merely a puzzle to which I lacked the solution? It's like they talk about like, yeah, they talk about these game puzzles as though it's just the most natural thing.
You're a ragged excuse for a savior.
Vorador.
I see my reputation precedes me.
It does.
All good, I hope? I've been watching you since you emerged from that accursed stronghold. Strange that your arrival coincides with the corruption of the Pillars. But I'm wondering, are you the catalyst of these events? Or the answer to them?
I don't know what you mean.
I don't know what you mean.
Plainly, then. I distrust your origins, stranger. Seeing you crawl from the putrid depths of Mobius's keep makes me question your purpose here. And what should I make of your appearance? Not human, clearly, and more demon than vampire. And the Pillars. It is no mere coincidence that your arrival in that clearing heralded the Pillars' decay. And so I ask you plainly, are you the instrument of the Pillars' destruction, or their salvation?
Neither.
love the way he like narrows his eyes before saying that.
Very well.
Neither.
Let us look at the other side of the coin. I have followed your journey and watched as you blithely unlocked secrets that have been sealed and forbidden for thousands of years. The path you have been treading is open to only one being. You don't know what you are, do you?
I have been many things. If you find me ignorant, enlighten me.
What's the point? This world is beyond redemption. Let the human cattle have it.
I would expect better than meek capitulation from you.
Centuries of persecution have taught me well. 500 years
Vorador
ago,
has a
our
sick
race
head.
was nearly
I mean-
exterminated by the fanatical crusades of the Seraphan. And now the same sick drama unfolds again. In merely a decade, Mobius's cutthroat citizen army has nearly accomplished what the Seraphan could not. Vampires meddling in the affairs of men. Look where it's brought us.
What am I to make of these secrets I've uncovered, then?
I think Raziel probably is older than Vorador in his own timeline.
Fairy tales, boy. The delusions of an ancient culture.
I mean, Raziel
clinging
served
to
Kain
hope
for a
long
millennia.
after the world had discarded them. Their bloodline
Millennium.
trickled away until only one of the ancients remained, sustained solely by obligation and his unfaltering faith in the old prophecies. But you see, even
I know he
if
was in
you
the lake
are
for quite a
who you
while.
appear to be,
True.
it no longer matters. You're simply too late. Janos Audron, the Reaver Guardian, the last of the ancients, and my maker, was murdered by the Seraphan nearly 5 centuries ago. He alone would have the answers you seek, but his secrets died with him.
He was killed
I don't
500
know
years
how
ago,
we've
you
come
say?
even this far without his guidance, or without the Reaver, stolen these 500 years ago by the Seraphan. I'm afraid, my friend, that you and all of us are out of luck.
I had no
Do I have a
less
Discord
reason to trust
community? Yes, I do.
Vorador than anyone else I had met. In fact, the ancient vampire was the most forthright being I had encountered thus far. If Janos Audron was the key to all this, then I would find him, and Mobius's time-streaming device would provide me passage. But first,
Yeah, if you ping me
I had
on
to find
Twitter
a way
or
back
Blue
into the
Sky,
stronghold.
I can
I
send you an invite.
suspected I would find the means within the lake's mysterious shrine.
Right. Back to the lake's mysterious shrine. I think means this way? Okay.
Seize him.
Got stuck on a rock for a second there. These underwater segments are way easier to navigate when you can see where you're going, but they're still a bit of a labyrinth. Yeah, if you just send me a DM on X, the Everything app, the artist formerly known as Twitter. Dom, I've been looking forward to meeting Janos, considering he's voiced by René Aubergenois. He is indeed. You have anything else to say, old one? Old elder god? Nope.
Ah, my wayward child returns.
Having unearthed more than you'd like, I suspect. What am I to make of these ruins that litter the land, and these images here in this chamber?
Merely the deceits of a failed civilization. You are being misled, Raziel. This ancient race hoped to manipulate the future with these scrawled misdirections. You must tread carefully. There are dark forces at work in this world, bent on subverting your true destiny.
I have no doubt of that. The question is, am I in their presence right now?
Your arrogance will spell your demise, Raziel. Deny my will, and the arc of your destiny will reach a sudden conclusion.
Your threats are unmoving. Even now, I'm beyond your reach.
My reach is longer than you realize. This is a very dangerous game you're playing, Raziel.
Sneaking in just before dinner. Nice thing today is that Hi, Sticks. I have it on good authority that you and Ellie have been very busy today, doing hard work. So I hope you get to chill out a bit. Raziel sassing the big tentacle monster. I know what you are. Guy who is definitely being manipulated. I will no longer be manipulated. Yeah, no, a lot of the cutscenes do sort of follow that formula. Raziel musing on the fact that he's being used by everybody. You can say you like my fashion sense. This is my rainbow Converse shoes. Ah. Thank you. Yeah, I got those shoes a few years ago. Converse did like a big Pride sale. I wonder if they still sell them, because mine are getting a bit old and tattered now. They're meant to be like collector's items, but I hate the idea of buying shoes and then not wearing them, so... I bet Raziel gets used by everybody. Being passed around other people's destinies like a blunt.
Take the beast down.
Take the beast down. Bye bye. Just walk on by. Combat encounters in and of themselves have no power to extort a verdict from you. You can simply walk on by. Leave that checkpoint just in case. I don't think I've ever died in this game, so I don't really know how the checkpoint... I think if you die in the spectral realm, you get sent back to the last checkpoint you resonated with. They're basically TV license inspectors, ignore them.
There's one!
Nice shooting, Tex. I think we'll...
Here it comes.
we'll try and do this next dungeon, and then I'm gonna go and have dinner because my boyfriend has gotten back and is sitting over there doing his study, I think. The next area. Thank you for petting me and petting Pepsi Dog. Supposed to go now. I think it's over here. Oh, it's there. It's so hard to see in the water. It's even harder when the game brightness is turned down so low. I've actually had to brighten the screen so that you can even see what's going on at all. He ran away from me. I love the way Raziel just stares around at things wide-eyed.
These murals left no room for doubt. These winged creatures were indeed the architects of the pillars. And while the images were difficult to decipher, the pillars appeared to banish or diminish their enemies somehow.
Spirit realm myself. Drink them up.
Depose through gates to assert maximum dominance over your enemies.
Exactly. Oh, right, I remember this dungeon. Raziel has never asserted dominance in his long life. Yeah, it doesn't strike me as the type. It's showing me everything I need to go and do. But I think I already know what I need to go and do. More T-posing. What's Raziel's type? Well, I think Raziel is a bratty Omega. I think he goes for a dominant alpha type. Kain. Yeah. He doesn't know it yet, but Kain. Look at Starmie. Right. Right, I can't get over there. Interesting take, nice Pokemon reference. An aggressive Omega. What did I say? I say bratty Omega. Need to tangle with these guys. Just walk on by. Not interested. Join the Discord and take part in our great Fujoshi shipping debate. I can't remember what's like the most controversial Fujoshi discussion we've had. I think it was about whether Griffith is a top or a bottom. I have to put this over here. Griff Guts dynamics were a big one. The longest thread in the history of the Merle Chord, closed after 1 million comments. Oh, I don't have the... Well, luckily I don't actually. The Shadow Reaver to get through there. It's just going to show me everything. I kind of remember though.
The cheek, the nerve, the gall, the audacity, and the gumption.
Oh, Alice just resubscribed for 18 months. Thank you very much. Wow, have I really been stroked streaming that long? Thank you very much, Alice. Very kind of you. Yes. Ah, yeah, up here. I think from here. Side over there. Look at all these guys just hanging around. Does this have some kind of updated textures mod or something? This is the remastered version, and you can switch into like remastered mode. I don't love a lot of the model changes for the remastered mode, so I'm staying in original graphic style. Oh, I remember this dungeon. It just gets you to run backwards and forwards through this corridor several times. The original graphic style seems better. Honestly, yeah, I think, you know, the graphics of this game look great. And I just think like a lot of the remaster changes don't make that much difference, so it's sort of like almost feels a bit sort of like pointless. And once again, simply walk on by. I think the PS1 and the PS2 had some really great graphics. I think the facial animation in like a lot of PS2 era games looks really cool.
Look at you, Raziel, a pathetic creature of meat and bone, panting and sweating as you run backwards and forwards through my corridors.
It is just sort of weird to me that you know, they started to abandon this style of graphics and facial animation in favor of motion capture, which I don't think always looks better, honestly. It can end up looking a lot worse. God. Thank you. Right. Now stick this here, I think. And that should be the shrine, more or less. It simply cannot stop. I do still have the Shadow Reaver equipped. Good. I need it. To open this door. Then felt like the remaster of 7 or Final Fantasy. Did they ever remaster Final Fantasy 7? This needs the shot. The remake. I liked the Final Fantasy VII remake quite a lot, but I didn't view it as like a remake. I viewed it as more like a sort of sequel. I think that helped me understand where it was coming from and what it was trying to do. And now to use the Shadow Reaver's other power that they don't fully explain to you that it has. Kept hearing rumors they're going to remake Final Fantasy IX, and they apparently put that on ice for now. It's strange because, like, I felt for a while like Final Fantasy VIII is the one that doesn't get a lot of like recognition, and sort of like, I don't know, is one of the more forgotten Final Fantasy games. But I'm now sort of realizing that 9 is that, which seems a shame because Pepsi Dog's playing it at the moment and it seems really good. I don't know why it doesn't get more, doesn't get given its flowers enough. Yeah, there's the other power, the Shadow Reaver. You can temporarily blind those eyes. Nine isn't going to happen because 7's remakes didn't hit the mark. Well, I mean, I think that the remakes of 7 weren't, and Rebirth, they're not necessarily trying to remake the game and re-release it. They are trying to tap into a new generation of Final Fantasy fans, but they're also... The game story itself is deeply about sort of like, I don't know, I don't think you can really appreciate what it's doing without having played Final Fantasy VII in the first place. Yeah, Final Fantasy IX was meant to be like a return to the traditions of Final Fantasy at the time. And it's interesting how they kind of dropped that again immediately for 10. And ever since then, really. A modern graphics version of Kuja could be pretty tasty. Now to get a new power. Raziel just loves sticking his Reaver in holes in the ground. God, imagine calling your cock the Reaver.
I plunge the Reaver into the forge and imbue the blade with the elemental power of light. Thus armed, I now had the means to re-enter the strong
Whole Reaver.
and finally use Mobius's time-streaming device to accomplish my own ends.
Well, I will head back to the lake and save, and I'm going to end here. We can go and re-enter the time streaming chamber next time. Oh god, just let me out. They all stand around looking at you. Yes, I get it. I know what to do. I had an option between a PS2 and an Xbox, and I chose the Xbox, and I never played Final Fantasy X until way later. I always forget that the original Xbox was contemporary with the PS2. I don't know why. I was just so sort of unaware of the Xbox. I think like when someone first told me about it, I assumed it was a joke. Someone was like, "Oh, Microsoft have made a games console." I was like, "What?" Yeah, I was like, the Xbox 360. I remember being a much bigger deal. But yeah, the original Xbox was just so sort of off my radar. Right, there's a save point in this lake. So fairly certain. Or is it in the next one? It's in the next area, but you know what? Oh, do I have to open the thing again? Oh, whatever. The failed console. Yeah, diverse opinions on the Xbox. For me, it's just a complete blind spot. I just, Halo 1 and was Halo 2 on the original Xbox, or was that Xbox 360? I just know so little about it. Here's the save point. God, traveling around in water is so slow in this game. 2 was on the right, okay. Anyway, there we go. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I hope you've had fun. Thank you very much for the subscriptions and gifted subscriptions. It really does mean a lot to me. Yeah, if anyone wants to join my Discord, just send me a DM on Twitter. I can send you a link. I probably won't be around tomorrow. I'm gonna go and meet Silk. We're gonna hang out. Or Blue Sky. I am there too, indeed. Yeah. I keep forgetting that Blue Sky even has DMs. Cool. Yeah, I'll go and check my DMs then. But yeah, hope you all have a lovely rest of the week and a good weekend. Bye bye.